Welcome back to video 3. This should be the final video. Just doing some more examples of exponent rules. Number 23. So this time we have some numbers in front, but we can actually do something with them. In the previous examples we just had like only a 2 in the bottom, so it just kind of stayed there. We had only a 4 in the bottom, so it just kind of stayed there. But 3 over 3, those are numbers. 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is equal to just 1. They cancel out altogether, and you would just end up with n to the 4th over n to the 3rd. In which case, you can subtract the exponents, right? Division, so 4 minus 3 is 1, so you'd end up with n to the 1st power. Or you could do that other thing I talked about, which is since n is bigger on top, the 4 is bigger than the 3, that means the n is going to have to be on top. And the difference between 4 and 3 is just 1, so you end up with n to the 1st, or just n. And 26, there we go. With 26, I see some regular numbers again. 2/3 are just regular numbers. You can't simplify 2/3, which means my answer is just going to have the 2/3 again. For my x's, looks like I have these x's right here. So x4 and x squared. This one, x to the 4th is bigger, because 4 is bigger than 2. That means my x is going to be on top. 4 is bigger than 2, so x is on top. When you subtract those, you would get 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So this will be x to the 2, x squared. For my y's, maybe a little trickier. Y to the negative 4, y to the negative 3. Which one is bigger, negative 4 or negative 3? The answer is negative 3. Negative 3 is bigger. Negative 3 is bigger than negative 4, because on a number line, if you have 0, this is 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. So negative 4, negative 3 is bigger. Negative 3 is bigger. So my y is going to be on bottom. And then negative 4 and negative 3, they differ by 1. They are 1 apart. Negative 4 and negative 3 are 1 apart. So this will be y to the 1st. You could, of course, do the whole either negative 3 minus a negative 4, which turns into a plus, so you get 1. That works as well, but if you can just picture that they differ by 1, then you're good to go. Lastly, the z's. So once again, think to yourself, pause if you want to. What's the difference? Where's it going to end up? Where's the z going to be? The top or the bottom? And what's the exponent going to be? The answer is on the bottom. 4 is much bigger than negative 3, so z is going to be in the bottom. 4 is the biggest. And then the difference between 4 and negative 3, on a number line, they differ by 7. Or if you do it algebra, 4 minus negative 3. Or you could do negative 3 minus 4. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the same number. Just in case you're asking, well, why am I not doing negative 3 minus 4? The answer is because it doesn't matter. In either case, you're going to get 7 or negative 7. But the only thing we cared about was the 7, because that's going to be the exponent. We already talked about the location. So whether it's positive or negative does not matter. The only thing that matters is that you're going to get an exponent of 7. The negative just means it's on bottom, but we already knew that, so don't need to talk about it. If that didn't make sense, then by all means rewind and watch that question again. Moving on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 problems more I want to do, so we're good. Here we go. Okay. In this problem, we're going back to some old rules. X to the 5th, y squared, all to the 3rd power. This is in parentheses, so we do want to deal with the 3 first. These are exponents to other exponents, right? There's no two x's, there's not two y's, so it is going to be multiplying. So 3 times these things. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6. And I'm just copying down the bottom. X15 and X15, they're exactly the same. You could do 15 minus 15 is 0, and then x to the 0 is just 1. But realistically, if you see two things are the same, you can just cross them out. It's the exact same thing. So they cross out, and you end up with y6 over y8. And for here, it looks like 8 is bigger, so my y should be on the bottom. So I know for a fact my y is on the bottom because 8 is bigger than 6. And the difference between 8 and 6 is 2. Right? 8 minus 6 is 2, or 6 minus 8 is negative 2. But either way, you're going to get this 2, and as long as we know it's on the bottom, it's fine. And if there's nothing up top, there's a 1 up top. For this one, this is in parentheses. You can either deal with the negative now or later. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer either way. So if you want to put a to the 4th in bottom and then square it, you can. If you want to square it now, you can. I'll probably just square it now. A to the negative 8 over b to the 4th. It is multiplying. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. 2 times 2 is 4. But then because of the negative right here, b4, that is a positive 4, so the b does not change. b4 just stays where it is. But a has a negative exponent, which means it's going to go to the bottom. And that negative is going to go away. When you move it, it turns into a positive. And if there's nothing up top, you put a 1. And that'll be the answer. As I said, if you wanted to deal with the negative in the first place, then you would have gotten b squared and a to the 4th in the bottom before squaring it. Right? A to the 4th just goes to the bottom. And then if you square everything, you still get a 1 up top. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. And you end up with the exact same thing. Oops, 8. And in case you're thinking it, yes, it is okay if you put the a first. Those are the same things. Either one should get you credit. If you want to try these ones, you can. I'm not going to explain them. I'm just going to kind of do them very fast. But if you want to try them, you can. Okay. Distribute the 7, you get x to the 14th, y to the negative 42. Because the y is negative, it's going to go on the bottom. Because the 14 is positive, it stays where it is. For D right here, negative 2 to the 3rd power is negative 8. Or if you want, you can picture these as exponents of 1. So when you put them to the 3rd power, it's negative 2 to the 3rd, a to the 6th, b to the 3rd, over a to the 15th, b to the 3rd. Negative 2 to the 3rd power is negative 8. Dealing with the a's, a will be on the bottom with a 9. And the b's are exactly the same, so they'll cancel. So the answer is negative 8 over a to the 9th. You could, of course, if you wanted, simplify this first. And if you simplified that first and put it to 3rd power, you'd get the same answer. Okay. Last sheet of paper. A to the 4th to the negative 3. So what's the first step? Multiply. Get x to the negative 12 times 2x to the 4th. This is a regular number, so it's just going to stay at 2. We have 2 x's, so we're going to add the add the exponents. So negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8. Because the x has a negative exponent, it is going to go to the bottom of a fraction. Because the 2 does not have a negative exponent, it gets to stay up top. Feel free to rewind at any time or pause between steps. Oh boy, number 5, that looks fun. Here we go, let's see. Here's an x, here's an x, here's an x, and here's some x's, oh boy. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and combine everything on top first. I think that's gonna be easiest for me. We got some numbers here, and here, and here, and another one here. So if I deal with the numbers, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. X squared, x. So I have 2 x's here, 2 x's here, and another x here. So 2 plus 1 is 5. I got a y, and that's it. So y4, another y4 is a y8. And then on the bottom, I'm just gonna keep it the same since there's only one of each right now. Sorry, I just realized I was off the page. Here, 24 over 3, that's just a number. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So I'll put an 8. And I'll put a fraction bar in case I need it. X's, 5 and negative 3. So where's the answer going to be, top or bottom? 5 is bigger than 3, so it's going to be up top. The distance between 5 and negative 3, or if you do 5 minus negative 3, is 8. And then y8 over y squared. 8 minus 2 is 6. Y to the 8th is bigger, so it'll be up top. 8 minus 2 is 6, like so. And that's everything. That's everything. Okay, so that's just going to be our answer right there. Don't even need a fraction. Ta-da! Number 7, if you want to pause and try it, you can. I have just a single number right there. There's nothing on top to like try to cancel it with, so it's just going to be a 4 on the bottom. X3 and another X3 makes an X6 on top. And then there's just this y to the 3rd. There's no other y, so that y is just going to be y to the 3rd, staying where it is. But the x's can simplify. X6 over X2. 6 is bigger than 2, so it'll be up top. And then 6 minus 2 is 4. All right, 6 minus 2 is 4. Positive, so it's up there. All right, I'm over 14 minutes now, so I'm gonna do these somewhat quick. Once again, you can always pause between steps. 13, something is to the 0 power. Congratulations, the answer is 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So anything to the 0 power is 1, which is handy right over here. 2y squared to the 0 is just going to be 1. So all of this is just 1. It's nothing. Go away. And we end up with x4y to the 3rd. Those are not the same base. You cannot combine them. So that is the answer. And the last example I wanted to show was this one. I have multiple k's up here on top, so I'll put them together. So what is k to the 3rd times k squared? You said k to the 5th, you are correct. Now I'll have to deal with this. First of all, the 2 is up top, so it'll stay up top. The k itself, 2 ways to think about it. 5 is bigger than 3, so your k would be on top. So you would do 5 minus a negative 3. 5 minus a negative 3 is the same thing as 5 plus 3. So that would be 8. So you'd get k to the 8. You could also, if you're a visual person, picture that since this is a negative 3, it's going to end up top. Negatives switch location, so the negative 3 would make it go up top. So you'd have a k squared and a k3, which makes, over here, the k3 would go up top. So you'd end up with a 5 and a 3 makes 8. And that would be the answer. Like that. Okay, that's it. Hopefully this helps. You can always watch the other 2 videos again or ask questions. Take care.